This is an exclusive interview brought to you by Nemesis Radio in conjunction with Nemesis Entertainment. And without further ado, I bring to you Gifted Entertainment. When did you start your label?
I started my label in April of 2000. I've been doing music, hip-hop since 2000.
What was your motivation behind creating your own record or entertainment company?
I got tired of being put to the back. I feel like I was important. Tired of trying to get in the studio and being promised this time, that time. So it was like, you know what? It's just time for me to do my own. If these people decide to either A, cut me off the label, kick me off the label, shut the label down, I need to have a plan in place. And I was on a formal label called Dub Records out here, which was really big. A lot of homies was I was one of the original artists on that. And when that fell apart, I was able to just go right into Gifted Entertainment. It was already a thought in my mind because I knew if this ever came to the head, I was ready. But see, I'm a loyal cat though, so I wasn't really trying to branch off, do my own thing. I was trying to do
How did growing up in Tennessee influence how you run your company and artists that you put out?
Growing up in Tennessee, man, it influenced me because it actually helps how we pick our artists, because we actually look for that somewhat of a southern sound. I do have a huge love for West Coast music. I'm very versatile, but Tennessee has allowed me to learn to appreciate all music. You know, being in the likes of B.B. King, people that play soul music on Beale Street every day of the week, really catching that vibe, man. I was able to catch on to it quick. And my dad, there's a lot of inspiration around us, but I used to be a dancer, and I've always wanted to incorporate my own music with what I did, so not being able to get beats, I never wanted to be a producer, is something that I taught myself to do.
Right.
I never really wanted to run a label, it's just something that I felt like I had to do. I never really wanted to be the artist.
How many artists does your label currently represent?
We currently represent, well, as of this month, we currently represent 2 artists, myself.
Where would you like to be in your company in 5 years?
Man, I want to be on that no limit bad boy status, man. I want to be up there. And I do believe with today's technology and the access that artists have to the world today, it's possible. For the last 10 years, I've really focused on having to learn how to run a label, having to learn every program possible, learning keywords, definitions, anything you can name to be able to just be an all-around cat in the studio. I've had to learn that. And so for the last, 10 years up until, when I dropped Stars Born 07?
No, 09.
09, actually 2000. It came out 09, but it was officially 2010. So up until like 2006, 2007, from the year 2000, about 7 years, I just learned from a lot of trial and error, teaching myself. Because I didn't have the money to go to school. I didn't have the credit and all that other stuff, but I did have access to a library. I did have a mouth to ask questions. I could come up with $10, $20 to buy a cheap DVD at Guitar Center to learn about compression, EQs, when to use it, and those kind of things. And trial and error and everything, I've been able to create my own sound.
What's the road been like trying to get your company out there, as well as the personal struggle along the way?
It's been a long road, man. I feel like any company is not hard to get off the ground. I don't care what you're starting, as long as you got people in place. You got to have the right people in place. I've worked with a lot of people along the way. We brought people in to the label, tried to sign people, like really good artists, man, like artists that could really take over the world, you know what I mean? That's here and all.
What has been your biggest unexpected hurdle that you've had, and your biggest unexpected benefits from being a record label?
Honestly, my biggest unexpected hurdle. A Star is Born it was a magical moment when we created that album. I wrote, produced on that album. I had a couple of creative writers I worked with, my boy Rob Phenon, my brother Big Hurt. We all worked together on that project. It was like magic, man. But as soon as the project hit the streets, you know, and people's lives start to change and situations come about, the vibe just kind of fell apart. So my first album really didn't have a chance to really be pushed and promoted because I have people on it that's not with me at that time, and if they are, not in the way that it needs to be in order to make an album succeed. So I feel like that's been the biggest hurdle that I've had to experience, because this album has been out for 5 years now, officially 5 years on the 3rd of January, and it's still gaining momentum.
How hard and competitive have you found your market to be here in the Beehive State?
No. Honestly, I don't want to sound cocky. I don't want to sound ignorant. I don't want to sound like I'm just a shit.
But you are number one on Reverb.
Right, for like 5 years, 6 years. You know, we've lost our spot down to number 2, number 3, if they lucky. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we've maintained our spot with the same song list. You know, I believe in making timeless music. And when you make timeless music, there is no competition. You could take Dr. Dre's first album, The Chronic, and it's like the first time you've heard it. You could take Thriller and listen to it tomorrow, and it's like the first time you've heard it. You know, I like making timeless music. And when people learn to make timeless music, there is no competition, it's just music. When there's competition, you're too busy worried about what the next person's doing. You're too busy worried about how this person sounds or what they rap like or what they sing like. That's when competition gets in and kills chemistry. But when it's all about love and music, it just does what it does, man.
But at the same time, it's still got to be competitive. I mean, the basis of rap coming out, battle rapping, things like that from back in the day,
Well,
it was not just about, I mean, it is making music. We all want to be soulful.
Right.
But there's still competency in any type of rap.
I'm very competitive. Let me see, how can I say this, man? I've had a couple of cats try to diss me on tracks, you feel what I'm saying? And I've been known to be one of the ones to put out very vicious retaliation tracks, so people just back off or don't fuck with me in that way no more. You know, I don't want to kind of say this and repost this and how everybody wants to try to diss me on the track, but you know, I can hold my own, man. I'm not afraid, you know.
Right.
I'm very lyrical. I'm like Pac, dude. You piss me off, I'm going to kill you on the track. Plain and simple. My first song is called, you know, they call me Gifted. A blunt in the attitude is all I need for a hit. So if you piss me off the wrong way, I'm going to get in the lab and I'm going to blow you out the fucking water, dude. Because I know my way around this.
How much different is it for you to come out to Utah from Tennessee and do your music?
It's been a gift and a curse. I would say the blessing from it has allowed me to incorporate that dirty South West Coast sound in my music, to fuse the two of them together. You know, some people might hear my music and say, yo man, this dude sounds West Coast. Or some people might hear my music and say, yo man, this dude sounds dirty South. You know, I like to take the best of both worlds and incorporate it. I feel like if I was in Tennessee though, back at home, I feel like there would be a lot more opportunity to be seen, a lot more networking. Here in Oregon or Utah period, you got people in stronger forces that work together to shut down the clubs because they don't want us performing in them. You got people that work together on really high levels that actually have hip-hop police in our community listening to the things that we saying, and I know for a fact it's true. You know what I mean? So I know that's everywhere, but here in Utah, when we are more than just a minority, and they have, and when I say they, I mean anybody who does not want this here, they have a lot of power over it, and that has been the main issue for any artist to break out in Utah. You know, unless you're rock or, you know, country or, you know, something classical, you know, or Osmond, you know,
Mormon,
or exactly, you know, that's pretty much what it is, you know, or if you're Mormon, you know. I feel like they've placed barriers on us to be heard, but with the internet, we're able to, you know, push through the envelope. But when it comes to like being a part of something major of our community because of what we sing like or what we rap like or what they're worried about what we might do on the show, man, we find a lot of doors being closed or not open. But I say, if you can't open your own, if somebody closes the door, somebody's gonna open another one. And if ain't nobody open the door for you, build your own frame, build your own frame.
What are your thoughts and feelings about music and artists coming out of the state of Utah?
I'm so ready for this to happen, dude. Like, you have to understand, man, I'm considered a veteran out here in this, man. I'm in my last days, you know, father time of rap music now, so we fought, pioneered, and done a lot to try to even get this done the right way, man, but there's been so many things along the way that's involved with hip-hop that, you know, makes people in our community afraid. That's right. So I can't wait for a breakout artist. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's somebody else. I just want to see somebody from hip-hop make it out of the state of Utah. I'm not in the rat race, man. I don't care who it is. The minute they make it, the next person's going to make it. You know, you get all these rappers that come here from California, New York, and do all these shows. Oh, I'm rapping with such and such. I got a show with such and such. Yo, man, I'm about to be on stage with dude, man. Yeah, man, we about to get put on, but nobody gets put on. These dudes come out here and do these shows and get paid. And we be all excited to have these dudes and be on stage with them and rapping with them and sharing stage with them, and that's an excitement. But at the end of the day, man, it's money for them. So I really be glad when one of us really finds out that we don't need these big time artists on our songs, man. We don't need that. I can guarantee you I can walk out this door and find an artist that sounds just like Snoop. I guarantee you I could walk out this door and find an artist that sounds just like a Busta Rhymes or a Dre or even better than a Wayne and make my track sound hot. You feel what I'm saying? I don't need them dudes. And I feel like once we all start to use our inner resources within our community, within the hip-hop music community, and if we can get along and put down the hate and actually work together, I feel like we can actually make our own way. I feel like we can create our own venues. I feel like we can open our own stores. I feel like we can do anything we want to do, but we got to have unity first. But there's too much competition and there's too much of a rat race for it.
Who are some of the artists your label and entertainment company have?
We've worked a lot with, I worked with Derek Keith, good engineer here in Ogden, Utah. He mixed and mastered my first album. I worked with the R&B cat out here named Dewan. He has a pretty decent project out right now. I've also worked with my brother Keon. He no longer lives here, but man, dude is a singing fool, man. He sings in like 7 octaves. He sounds like Anthony Hamilton on his worst day. You know, we've done shows with, from back in the day, Too Short and Too Deep, Snoop, Bone Thugs, Busy Bone, Fresh Bone, Brown Boy, who else, cuz?
Little Rob.
I've actually was signed to a label with Sony/Chinga Chain Records, so I was actually working with Young Buck and Scrappy and Juicy J for a little bit. Talked to them cats over the phone, mostly Scrappy and Buck. Had some beats sent from, and I can't remember this dude's name, but he's a really high-profile producer out of New Zealand, and he sent me a song that I did with Young Buck, but I can never let the world hear it because that record label was shady, and I don't want to start my career out that way. I don't need the fame in that way. I wouldn't sell my soul for a jelly roll like they say in the South.
Do you see touring as a possibility in the near future?
Yeah, I want to tour. I want to go back south. I want to hit the West Coast. I want to hit everywhere on Reverb that showed me mad love. Man.
Do you have any tips or tricks for artists, aspiring artists, producers trying to come up?
I do. Don't be like me. Please look at me, y'all. Don't be like me. Back in the day, all this rap singing and everything people are doing today, I started that shit back in 2000. People got in my head, yo man, that shit ain't cool, that ain't gonna work, that shit sounds like garbage, or they wasn't used to it yet. And I heard the sound of tomorrow, and I let them cats get in my head. You feel me? And from then I didn't want to do music no more because I didn't feel like I had what it takes. So then that's when I went from trying to be an artist to just strictly producing, you know. But don't let anyone get in your head. If you hear it, you feel it, you do it. There's something out there for everyone. My dude Mikey Jack said there's music in the trees, there's music in the air, there's music when cars drive by, there's a song in everything we do. If we drop our pencil, there's a song in that. So I just feel like it's everywhere.
What are some of the projects your company is currently working on?
We are currently working on, been working on my second installment album. I have like, I don't know how many songs for this, but it's the Truly Gifted album. All I can say is this is my baby, and I gotta release it the right way. We're working on DB's project. He's our new artist, and we're also working on a Gifted Entertainment project. We do have another artist I forgot to mention. His name is J-Rome. He's a really good hip-hop R&B artist.
Yeah, a.k.a. Slick Malone.
Slick Malone.
Now, do you or any of your artists have upcoming gigs, album releases, or anything of that nature that you want to shout out?
No. I will like to shout out that we are rebuilding. We are stronger than we've ever been with just the small number of people we work with within our label. I think people will be extremely surprised what they hear coming from us this time around. And for everyone that just thought that Gifted's not working, not doing nothing, sitting on music, not releasing shit, whatever, I think everybody's going to be in a shock for what we're going to be doing this time around. Videos and all. I will say this though, we are about to shoot my first video, Whipping in My Cadillac.
What would be the number one thing you would say to other entrepreneurs not to do?
I would tell other entrepreneurs to get your money up. So if you got to work a job, work 2 jobs, whatever, you got to pay for this, man. You know, and if you can't afford to pay for it, get a crew of people that can. You know, 3 people has way more power than 1. You know, you can do way more with $300 bills than you do with 1. You know what I mean? Get people together. And if it's just you, allow yourself time. Set a date. Set realistic goals. As entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, getting our feet wet in the game, we sometimes set unrealistic goals. Get all your pieces in order, get everything figured out first, and then strike. I always say, figure it out, strike. Because once you know the game, you can set your chess pieces up, and once your chess pieces are set, you can manhandle the board, man. You're taking everybody's cards.
To give an insight to your listeners about who and what Gifted Entertainment stands for, what are some of the most used quotes in the music produced and used around?
We got a quote that we use every time we do a show on the road or here in state or even in the studio. We meet, we greet, we conquer, we out. So we go to the show, we meet who we need to greet, meet everybody, shake hands, kiss baby, show mad love and respect to the people that showing mad love to us. You feel what I'm saying?
I do. Kiss baby still kind of threw me off, but I feel you.
You know what I mean? We meet, we greet, we conquer. So we get on stage, we do what we gotta do. We pray before we do anything, bro. From the minute we leave the house, we pray. To the minute that we arrive to the venue, we pray. From the minute before I get on stage and do anything, I pray. I pray for my voice. I pray for my energy. I pray not to forget lyrics. And I pray that people accept us. You know what I mean?
Alright, what up, everybody? How y'all doing? Y'all need the links? Alright, we're gonna keep it real simple. First off, these are our Twitters. At GiftedENT801. That's the main Twitter where you can reach everybody at. Then I have my personal Twitter at JWright_801. Then for our other artist, J-Rome, he is JRome801. And then for our newest artist, DE on the Rise. So just type in DE on the Rise. We also on SoundCloud. That is just Gifted ENT Utah 801. For the CD Baby, for anybody who is willing to purchase the CD, it is on cdbaby.com. Gifted21. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the cdbaby.com, Gifted21, you can actually go on there and purchase the album. You can also purchase a direct download link, download individual songs. You can purchase a hard copy from Hastings and Ogden or Logan. And as far as like any other digital types of media downloads, we are everywhere. We're on Rhapsody. We're on Amazon Music. We're on Amazon Japan,
iTunes.
Amazon UK, iTunes. We're on Xbox Live. We're
Is it on Pandora yet?
Yeah, we're on Pandora.
Yeah.
We're on Xbox Live. We're on Independent Radio. I've actually got an email saying that we're about to start being played on iHeart.
I take it if you in my way, bitch. I'll take it, face it, I'll break it. No mistaken, motherfucker, cause I'm really a vandal. I'm fat, 280 pounds. It's hard to handle. I can live with a candle. My fist like wrecking balls. Lyrically, I'll demolish you, and physically, I'll break your jaw. Spit raw, keep my talent in the underground. Like a diamond in the rough, chillin', I just take it down. Can't nobody stop my talent, can't nobody stop my shine. I'ma make it in this game. Best believe I get what's mine. Take the pussy